What's up guys, it's Miguel, and in this video what I want to do is I want to start addressing some of the things that I see on ads on social media, and I want to start to address some of the key differences that I see between the companies that I do see strive and improve over time and the other companies that usually burn out within the next 2 to 3 months. Now the reason I want to do this is because I feel like if I can actually execute on this and I can actually help other people by finding the demographic and finding the people that are actually most likely to buy, it's going to be a lot easier for other people to make money, and it's going to be a lot easier for you to actually find your ideal customer and not struggle as much to convince people that your product is actually what they need. Now, what I usually see is that a lot of these people, they fall into 3 different categories, and I'm speaking about the potential customer at the moment. The first one is the diehard fans. The diehard fans usually fall into the category where they're very obsessed with one brand. And I'm going to use this as a very sloppy example, but I feel like it helps me make my point very clearly. It's like the person that's obsessed with Whataburger. The person that's obsessed with Whataburger is not going to eat any other type of burger. It doesn't matter how good the burger is. It doesn't matter if another burger promises that they're going to lose weight if they eat 3 or 4 a day. They're just obsessed with Whataburger, and that's the only burger that they're interested in. And the chances of you actually convincing them to jump over to your burger joint and try you out is very slim to none. So a lot of people, what they do is they try to poach off a lot of these other customers that are already diehard fans. They're already like emotionally attached to some of these other brands, and it's very difficult for them to actually poach that customer, and it's going to cost them a lot more because they need to constantly keep on investing ads to make sure that the person feels familiar with them, and eventually maybe they'll give them the time of day and they'll try out their new burger joint. Now, the second customer is the person that's already somewhat informed, but isn't necessarily happy with the current product that's being offered. So this is going to be the person that's they already know what a burger is. They already know that Whataburger is pretty good, but maybe there's some things that they don't like about it. Maybe they don't like the buns. Maybe they think the patty's a little bit too greasy. Maybe their fries are a little bit too bland. And these are my personal opinions. I'm just using these as examples. So this person, it's going to be very easy for you to convince them because they're already familiar with the product. They know exactly what a burger is. They know they want a burger. They just want a better, if you offer them a better solution to their burger necessities, then it's going to be very easy and very cost effective for you to actually market to that public and bring them over to your to your burger joint. Now, this other demographic, the last demographic, a lot of people might think that it's the easiest to market to, but the thing is that it's usually very it's very effective because you can actually eventually turn these into diehard fans. But the thing is that you need to invest a lot more upfront, and these are the uninformed people. It's going to be very difficult for you to actually convince these people to go over to your burger joint if they don't know what a burger is. Now, this is a person that has never tried a burger. They're not familiar with a burger, and they're not even familiar with what it tastes like. The thing with these people is that you have to inform them and you have to give them a lot of information up front to eventually convince them to even give you a little bit of time to actually try out your product. So what you want to do is you kind of want to equal out the amount of efforts that you're producing to keep on informing the customers that are very uninformed, to eventually bring them over, as well as marketing the solutions to the people that are already, like on the fence about what the current solution is. And this can be applied to any industry whatsoever. Now, the next question comes, and the next question would be, okay, well, how do I know where to find my demographic? And this is where you really need to lock in, and you need to figure out what it is exactly that your customers or the frustrated crowd is currently experiencing. You need to do a little bit of research. You need to figure out what those pain points are, and you need to eventually figure out on how to click on those pain points. Like I just said, maybe like for the burger joint example, it may be that they want a smaller bun or they want a fluffier bun. It may be that maybe they want a thinner slice of meat. Maybe they want a vegan option. This is going to be completely dependent on your industry, and you need to figure out exactly what it is. Like, it's your job and it's your duty as an entrepreneur to figure out what's frustrating your customer. The reason I'm saying this is because if you just throw up a burger joint, and you think that people are gonna come and just try your burger just because you opened up that burger joint, you may get a couple of customers here and there, but it's not gonna be a sustainable business model. So you wanna make sure that you keep on researching on what the customer needs and what you can keep on working on to both inform the cold traffic, the cold people that aren't informed, as well as to keep on pushing on those pressure points that are gonna eventually bring the people on the fence over to your side of the yard. So I feel like this is very overlooked, and the reason I bringing it back to what I was saying in the beginning, the reason I say this is because I see that a lot of the ads on social media aren't hitting any pressure points. They're more focused on aesthetics and making the video look nice instead of actually addressing some of the issues having to do with a lot of in the market. So if you want effective marketing, if you want something that actually works, you're gonna have to keep on testing and testing and testing, hitting these pressure points and figuring out exactly what it is that your market needs. And it's not really gonna matter as much as what type of camera you're using. If you have a drone to shoot your business, it doesn't matter if you have a fancy office. All of this is gonna be irrelevant as long as you're providing a solution that's ideal for that customer. So once you begin to lock into this, I'm gonna go a little bit further later on how to actually just keep on producing more content for the to keep on informing the other customers. But for now, as you begin to see this, just begin to analyze a lot of these businesses. Begin to see what you can improve on. And I feel like this was a very good exercise for me, simply because it got me a little bit more, it gave me a lot more ideas on how to apply a lot of this information. And it got me to see a lot of the gaps that were missing between a lot of other businesses. Even if I was at a coffee shop, I would just constantly be asking myself, what could I do to improve this business? What could I do to bring more customers in through the door? And as if you get this locked down, and if you just hone in on this concept alone, on just figuring out what you can improve on, what people actually care about, and not what you're because I feel like a lot of the information that we get is very biased because we think that this is going to be a solution that everybody's going to want. But what I've seen time and time again is that when I throw a product up, or when I throw up a solution and I try to test something out, I see that it doesn't actually, that's not necessarily what the public wants. So you need to, this is the reason why I keep on saying that you need to keep on testing, and you need to keep on figuring out what the customer wants. So that's basically like one of the basic premises that I feel like is very overlooked and is very underestimated. But if you actually get this locked down, it's gonna be much more easier for you to just keep on making more money, because all you're gonna keep on doing is hitting those pressure points time and time again. And the ads are just gonna keep on popping up. The copy's just gonna keep on popping up. You're gonna know exactly what to say. You're gonna know exactly what to address. So a lot of these people that are more focused, that keep on investing on equipment, that keep on investing on just more and more ads to just keep on making people more familiar with their brand, it's not, you're gonna be outperforming them time and time again. So that's it for today, and I'll see you guys on the next one.